Okay, so on our agenda today, we're going to be talking about getting on track with engineering at the University of Utah, some important dates and deadlines that we have, admission into the College of Engineering, both pre-engineering, direct admit, and what if you are an undecided student, or you are the parent or guardian or supporter of a student who is undecided. Scholarships, housing, career services, tutoring, and other support that we offer within the College of Engineering. Enhancing your engineering education, and then summer activities as well. Let's get another person who's joining us. So, just starting out, this is kind of your first step to getting to the University of Utah is applying to the College of Engineering is applying to the University of Utah. Here is a list of recommended courses, basically to get you prepared for coming into the university. You'll see here that really we want students to have a high exposure to math and science. So we'll see that's something we definitely recommend every single year. Really, we'll talk about it later, but what we would really love to happen is that your student or you come to the University of Utah ready to take Calculus 1. We call it being calc ready, so that doesn't necessarily mean that you have taken calculus already. It's more so that you would be ready to take calculus your very first semester. The reason for that is because for some of our engineering majors and for engineering in general, calculus is the magic key that unlocks your engineering discipline. So for some of our majors, you can't even enroll into the first intro course until you get into Calculus 1 at the same time. So that's why we recommend that. If you are a BS in Games student, though, just so you know, you don't have to test into calculus. It's our one major within the College of Engineering that doesn't require students enroll into calculus. They can actually, they have a lower math requirement that they need to fulfill. If you are curious, these are the most popular ways so that students will place into calculus. They will either do the AP test. If you get a score of a 3 on the AB or BC Calc exam, that will get you into Calc 1. You can place higher. Here in Utah, a lot of students will take Math 1050 or 1060 or pre-calculus. Essentially, those classes together make up a pre-calculus sequence. So if you're from out of state, that's really what we're looking for is the precursor to calculus. Some other ways students actually test into Calculus 1 is through their SAT or ACT scores. So for the U, if you have a math subscore for the SAT of a 650, that gets you into Calc 1. If you have taken the ACT and have a math subscore of a 28, that's a good way to get into Calculus 1. And then just so you know, if you're like, well, I don't fit any of these boxes, but I'd still like to try and get into Calculus 1, then actually we do have a placement test that students can take on campus. We even offered it virtually this summer to test into Calc 1. If you're taking AP Calculus as a junior year, what should you take as a senior? Some students will go on and take statistics, but some students, if they have the option, they'll go to a community college and take, or they'll go to a community college and they will take like the next level up for math. So if that's an option for you, that's recommended as well. Let's see, any questions on this slide? And then if you are missing maybe some of these requirements, what I would recommend you do is reach out to your admissions counselor. To discuss with them, hey, I don't have this. What does that mean for me coming to the University of Utah? Some students will get accepted with maybe a missing requirement or two that they have to make up later once they get here. All right, so our next slide, some important dates and deadlines. So December 1st, just so you know, is our early action date. If you apply by December 1st, you'll be notified of your admittance into the University of Utah by January 15th. Also, it's our deadline to apply for, sorry, ignore this part with the university scholarships, but it's our deadline to apply for COE merit-based scholarships. We go off of your admissions application for our merit-based scholarships. So if you wish to be considered for engineering scholarships, you'll want to merit-based scholarships specifically. We'll talk about need-based a little bit later on. You would need to apply by December 1st. February 1st is the FAFSA priority deadline. That's also when our COE essay scholarships. So this includes our need-based, and then we do have a few scholarships that require additional essays. That's the deadline to apply for that. And FAFSA is required for our need-based scholarships. On top of that, if you're looking to apply to the Honors College, the deadline to apply to the Honors College is February 1st. April 1st is the housing priority deadline, and May 1st is the deposit deadline. Okay, so then admissions into the College of Engineering. So basically, one of the first things you need to do in order to get into the College of Engineering is we need you to apply to the U. Indicate that you're interested in an engineering major, and then students are either admitted as pre-engineering or direct admit. But we'll also talk about those students who come in and they're like, well, I don't know if I want to do engineering. I came to engineering day because I was thinking about engineering, but I'm also thinking about physics and science and math or film. So we understand that not all students are necessarily or know right away that they want to do engineering. So we'll talk a little bit about students who apply as undecided. Those students who are accepted as pre-engineering students, what happens is they apply to the U and they indicate an interest in an engineering major. One second. You receive your admissions letter to the U. It would have a pre-engineering insert. So saying, congrats, you've been admitted as a pre-mechanical engineering student to the University of Utah. You would hopefully accept your admission, pay your deposit. You would be admitted as pre-engineering status. You'll meet with a College of Engineering advisor, and then you'll be given engineering or full major status when you're academically prepared. This means that once you've completed the prerequisites in order to get into your major, that's when you'll be given full major status. So again, it looks very different from major to major. Some of our majors, you just have to be able to enroll into calculus in order to get full major status. Others are a little bit more competitive, like computer science and biomedical engineering. So I would highly recommend that you connect with them later today during that noon to 1 slot, because they can tell you what it looks like specifically for the College of Engineering and their specific major. Then direct admission. So let's say direct admission happens when you apply to the U and you indicate that you're interested in an engineering major. You'll receive an admissions letter to the U, and it will have a direct admit letter saying, congratulations, you have been directly admitted into the College of Engineering. You'll hopefully accept your admission, pay your deposits, and then we, in the college over the summer, we change you to engineering status. So you're not a pre-student, but you are given engineering status instead. What direct admission looks like is very dependent on the major you're looking to pursue. These are the majors that will give you full major status either at orientation or within the first few weeks of classes. So these are the ones where you'll get full major status right away. These majors right here, you do have to complete engineering related coursework, and then later on have to apply for full major status. So you won't be given full major status right away. You'll be somewhere in between pre-engineering and full major status, and that middle status is that engineering status. So you're still considered a part of the College of Engineering. I will say mechanical engineering in particular, they actually will give you full major status as long as you can enroll into Calc 1 and you're taking your Intro to Mechanical Engineering class your first semester. So again, talk to your academic advisor if you're like, based off of the criteria that the dean spoke about, I'd be eligible for direct admission. What does that mean for my major, and can you tell me what that process looks like? If you are a student who said you were undecided or even picked another major within the college or within the University of Utah, then here's how some students get evaluated for direct admission. you apply to the U, maybe you indicated you were undecided, maybe you indicated you were interested in another major, you'll receive your admission letter. But then let's say you decided you wanted to do engineering prior to your first semester here at the University of Utah. You would pay your deposit and contact if it's before you've paid your deposit, you would just contact admissions. It does have to be the student that contacts admissions. They won't change a student's major if a parent or guardian makes this request. They need the student to contact. But if you need to change your major and it's before you've paid your deposit, contact admissions. They will determine whether or not you're eligible for direct admission. The added benefit for being reflected as an engineering student, especially if you're applying by that December 1 deadline, is that you can be considered for merit-based scholarships as well. We like to give our scholarships to engineering students. So if you're not there as an engineering student, we don't know whether or not to consider you. If it's after you've paid your deposit, you got your letter, you're like, yes, absolutely, University of Utah, that's where I want to be, but I want to do an engineering degree instead. Just contact your College of Engineering advisor. They know how to get you evaluated for direct admission. And this direct admission process you won't be eligible for it after the school year begins. So it would have to happen prior to the first day of classes that you make that decision. And then again, whether or not you were interested as a or whether or not you're eligible for direct admission, you would just follow the academic pathway for your major. And your academic advisor should be able to provide you with that information later today. Scholarships. So our college and our departments offer scholarships. Merit-based, it's automatic consideration. Again, you just need to apply by December 1st, and you'll be notified by mid-March if you've received a scholarship. We do have some need-based and other scholarships available on our COE website. The deadline to apply for those is February 1st. Last year, we gave about 510 awards equaling $1.5 million. Got some people coming in. Something to know about those scholarships is it does require a letter of recommendation from 2 STEM-related references. Unless you're doing the BS in games, then you should do get references related to the gaming industry. But your references should really come from instructors at your high school. It shouldn't be mom or dad or your ballet teacher. Your ballet teacher can tell us that a student is great in ballet. They can't tell us whether or not you're going to be successful in STEM. So that's something to keep in mind because we do require those references. And be creative. A lot of these scholarships require an additional essay. We read a lot of scholarship applications. So definitely put some time and thought. We have a lot of students who write about how they chose engineering because of their love of Legos or Lincoln Logs. No, we get a lot of those. But those kind of tend to be repetitive. But if you're able to write about kind of a unique experience. We had one student who wrote about the time he was almost struck by lightning. And that definitely stuck out in our minds. So think creatively about what makes you unique, what makes you different, and make it engaging. He tied that into his love of engineering and how it sparked his interest. So make sure, like I said, think creatively, put some thought into your references because there are human beings who are reviewing these applications. I did want to let you know about those scholarships that require additional essays as well. If you go to that College of Engineering Scholarship website, it will take you to the link in the system that you need to go to in order to apply for these scholarships. When you log into that database, just so you're aware too, it's called Academic Works, and it's the same system the university uses across the board. So if you are applying for any other University of Utah scholarships that require those additional essays, these scholarships are housed in the Academic Works website. These scholarships that the COE gives out and are due by February 1st include the David Jorgensen Freshman Scholarship. It's a $10,000 per year, 4-year scholarships. It heavily relies on need-based or on students who demonstrate need. Same with our CompU scholars, again, heavily needs-based, specifically for computer science students. Oh, Then we have the Freshman Engineering Scholars Program. It's a $1,000 scholarship with the opportunity to apply for a $3,000 research scholarship your sophomore year. This is one, if you are interested in getting involved in research or doing lab tours, this would be a great program for you. Students can really get involved and work with faculty and work with other students involved in research. It's a really amazing experience. So I would highly recommend that if you are interested in research. And then last, if you identify as female, we have the Access Program. This is actually done through the College of Science, but again, the application is listed on the Academic Works website. And it does come with a summer commitment. It's designed to be a cohort experience where you and a group of other female identifying students come together, you learn about getting involved in research, you take a class together, and then in the spring semester, you have kind of fall off, but you meet every once in a while, and then in the spring, you get involved in research as well. So this is a really fun program for female identifying students. If you're interested in housing, we have two specific engineering communities on campus. One is Callert Village that is designed for first-year students. The other is our Kennecott House. This Kennecott House, again, Callert Village is typically for first-year students. Kennecott House, that is usually tends to be more upperclassmen, but occasionally we do have some first-year students in it. You apply to be a part of the living learning community. Those are all done through university housing, though. If you need any information, further information, Morgan Boyack is the point of contact for that. He's also the individual who put together Engineering Day as well. So you may already have an email from him. But both are really great opportunities. A lot of times you as an incoming engineering student, you are, or those students typically are taking the same classes or similar classes. They're taking a lot of STEM courses. So it's a great way to kind of form those study groups and form that community while you're on campus. The Career Professional Development Center. So we know you're coming to school because you probably want to get a job at some point. So we have a lot of really helpful resources for students who are looking to do that. We have two undergraduate STEM or engineering specific career coaches here at the U. Twice a year, they host STEM career fairs. A lot of times there are industry visits that happen because companies want students to see their organizations. They want students to come and visit them and see what their needs and their demands are. They're also there for resume and interviewing skills. They're also there to help students find internships as well. So they're a really great resource that we hope students take advantage of. And they also hold office hours here in the Warnock Engineering Building. Tutoring and other support. Our Math Center offers a ton of tutoring through their TAs. It's super helpful. We have all of our departments offer tutoring as well within their department. So again, if you're wanting to talk about tutoring for specific classes, I would encourage you to ask your academic advisor about that. We have computer labs here on campus. Students may get their own, will probably get their own laptop. Not all students do, but we do have computer labs with any engineering related software that you would need to utilize for your classes as well. So a lot of students will utilize our computer labs for that space. We have academic advising. As you should have seen on your registration, there are a lot of academic advisors within our different departments here at the University of Utah. They're there to help students navigate the process of going through their degree. They're there to help you identify opportunities to get involved. If you're struggling in classes, they're there to assist with that as well. So they're definitely an awesome resource for you to get to know. We also have honors advising within the College of Engineering. That is, so students will actually have a engineering major related advisor, but then they'll have an advisor within the honors college as well to help them learn about honors resources and tell them about classes they can take that will complement their engineering degree. One of our academic advisors, Sierra Whipple-Pageon, is a College of Engineering advisor, but she does 1 day a week within the honors college. Our dean is very passionate about the honors program, so much so where he volunteered one of his staff members, to do that 1 day a week there so that honors students could have accessible academic advisors. And then last but not least, we do have the counseling center. We know, particularly now it's a rough time for students, and students really need that support. So we do have our counseling center, but what I'm really excited to share with you about is we got our first embedded counselor this year. So it is a College of Engineering dedicated therapist who is employed by the College of Engineering. They also are employed through the counseling center. It's a joint appointment. But we're one of the first on campus to have this opportunity. And it's been working really well, and students have been really excited to see that as a resource. He has drop an hour every week, so that if a student doesn't necessarily want to set up a full session, but they just want to kind of see how they connect and want to ask about those resources, or they have a quick question because their friend is going through something and they want support, those drop-in hours are a great way for students to connect informally with our counselor as well. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Okay. Other ways to enhance engineering education, we have the Honors College. Learning abroad can work with an engineering degree. You just have to meet with your academic advisor and plan for it accordingly. Internships in engineering, somebody was asking us if our students do internships, and really employers want you to have internship experience. So it's a pretty much very spoken rule that if you want a job after graduation, you should go get an internship, at least one prior to graduation. Research, a really great way for students to get involved and get to know their faculty members, is also to get involved in research as well. What I've really liked about seeing our students who get involved in research is, especially if they do it that first year, they're able, what a lot of those students talk about is they take their classroom experience and they're learning that in the classroom kind of thing. They're learning it, how that applies to homework problems and classroom issues, but then they take it into another area. They take it into the research lab. And they're able to see how what they're learning in the classroom aligns with what they're doing in the lab. So I really like that as an opportunity for students to really kind of amp up their educational experience as well. You also get to know faculty who can be your references later on, and also who are well embedded within their departments, so that you get the access to other resources as well. So this is something I highly encourage. We do have student clubs and organizations. They are still active as of right now. They are recruiting new members. A lot of them are doing community outreach or bringing in speakers to speak to their student organizations. It's not something where they've stopped because of COVID-19. It's something that I think has fueled their desire to get active, to get involved, and to recruit new members, because they know students starting out really need those connections. So our student clubs are active. If you listen to our dean's speech, you've heard about the Grand Challenge Scholars Program. That program is designed to students who are interested in maybe combating issues such as like how to create green energy, or how can we enhance medical technology, really those issues to help make humanity better or the world better. The Grand Challenge Scholars Program is designed to be a very holistic experience. You take a diverse set of classes with some humanities backgrounds. You get partnered with a faculty member who's kind of your mentor during that process. You get involved in research. You take some business courses or have some business experiences. Again, Sierra Whipple Pageant is the contact for that, but it's a great 4 to 5 year commitment, depending on how long you're here at the U. But it's designed to really have you have these unique experiences and really vast experiences as well, to get you connected and to really make you competitive either on the job market or going into graduate school, because you've had such a diverse background and such a diverse experience. You also get a certificate from the National Grand Challenge Scholars Program as well, that is very popular and recognized at other institutions. So that's a really great program that launched this year. In addition to that, you may have heard Dean Brown talk about the Engineering Entrepreneurship Certificate. As he said, most engineering students are not, or most Fortune 500 CEOs are not holding business degrees. A lot of them are holding engineering degrees, because some of those soft skills that you can learn in business, you actually learn as an engineering student. You learn how to work on a team, you learn how to lead a team. But if you are really, we have a lot of engineering students who are really interested in getting that entrepreneurial experience and want those additional skills to make them a successful entrepreneur. So our engineering entrepreneurship certificate, for some of our majors, it's as little as 6 to 9 additional credit hours outside your engineering degree. Students have really enjoyed those classes. They're taught by experts within their field, so they're taught by professors who own their own companies. The patent law class is taught by a patent law attorney who also has an electrical engineering degree. So just a really great certificate all the way around. And again, that point of contact is Emily Housley. She is in our College of Engineering Dean's office. And then last but not least, if maybe your student isn't, well, here are some opportunities to get involved. We have a summer camp that's open. We have 2 summer camps. We have a high gear summer camp and a University of Utah general exploring engineering summer camp that high school students can get involved in. And again, we offered those virtually this past summer, where we mailed kits to students and basically sat down with them. They heard from professors, they heard from current students in the program, and then they did activities together as a group over Zoom. It was relatively low cost, about $25 to $35, depending on which camp you were a part of. So those would be a great opportunity to take advantage of, depending on what format we do them next year. We offer Engineering 102. That is a survey of engineering class. It's taught through continuing education, and we teach that during the summer. It's designed to help students who are looking to explore all the different engineering disciplines in a classroom setting. We also host information sessions every single month. So if you're looking for more information on the College of Engineering, our information sessions are offered virtually. And then if you wanted to come to campus and you want to host an individual appointment, our academic advisors, we're still on campus. We won't be here for December. But we do offer, as of right now, individual appointments. If you wanted to come in and chat, again, either via Zoom or in person, we've got this nice plexiglass barrier. You can shoot me an email right here, a.vertis-curran@utah.edu. Here's our general website. And really, if you have any questions about anything that we've spoken about today, I'm happy to talk to you further about that. But that is the end of my presentation.